Hey, juice heads, don't adjust your fucking iPhone or YouTube or whatever the hell you're on. This is episode 11 of What's Trending with Juice Giorgio, and it is back to back, 2 days in a row of the show. You know why? There's so much information I need to get out to my fucking juice heads out there, and I need to be there for you in these troubling times in America. Had that MRI done today for my left knee, so now I know what it feels like to be fucking shoved in a fucking tube for 45 minutes. And it wasn't that bad because it was my knee, so my head didn't have to go in. And they gave me earphones and Spotify, so it wasn't terrible. And I listened to a little Joe Rogan UFO talk, which is always entertaining and interesting. And took my mind off the fucking lasers and all the fucking, I was going to say estrogen, all the... all the X-rays and gamma rays and whatever fucking rays and yeah, just all sorts of bad stuff being shot into my body. So and you know what pisses me off about this? Now I'm gonna fucking do a Leo Getz rant from fucking Leo Getz. Fucking they had the doctor looked at the images before I even got home from the. I was on Park Ave in Florham Park. The doctor fucking looked at it. I had a call as I was walking into my door, and I still got to wait till Tuesday because I still got to make an appointment. And that's how they fuck you. That's how they fuck you. Is that how he did it? God knows the last time I watched Lethal Weapon 3, but speaking of good parenting and putting you in fucking R-rated movies as a kid, aside from Lethal Weapon 3, I don't know if this is a surprise or not. I forget if I mentioned I was going to do this yesterday on yesterday's show. But I wanted to go through, since it's Christmas time, the top Christmas movies ever, according to me. So who else would know, right? So number one, well, actually, it's in no particular order. So when I say number one, I mean like the first on the list, because we could debate how we can rank these movies, but I don't think we're going to debate that they qualify being the top fucking Christmas movies of all time. So we'll do as many movies between now and New Year's, because you can still watch Christmas movies, I think, up until New Year's. Maybe even all year. Like Christmas music, I think, is strictly December only. That's my fucking feeling about that. But, of course, best part of this movie, it's not even a line. Or maybe it's a line when Hans fucking reads the sweater. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Second best line. But obviously we all know the first best line. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! That's what I wanted to say today in the fucking MRI machine. Oh, man, it is good to be back for you guys. It is good to be back. So this is a picture from D.C. from Saturday from the Stop the Steal thing. That's Tommy Tomatoes and his cousin, who's a really cool guy, and he has his own podcast, although I cannot tell you how to get there because I don't fucking know. I could find out. But I think some cross-pollination is in order, and I think he'll be on my show. I think I'll do his show. And cross-pollinating is a beautiful thing in the podcast world, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Saturday was a good time. It just beats you up. 4 hours getting there. You're walking. I mean, the White House kind of looks like it's right behind us, but I swear to God, it's like 12 football fields back. It's just so crazy how spread out everything is. And I think I was saying yesterday, by the time it was 2:45, or maybe the other night on the Juice Giorgio show when Tommy was on, by the time it was 2:45, it felt like it was like 7 p.m. on like a summer day because the sun was still up. But by the time it was 5 and the sun was down, it felt like it was 11. It's just not enough time to do everything you want to do. But I met a nice gentleman from Minnesota who I sent the link to the show to. So if you're tuning in, shout out to you. Shout out to Minnesota, or as we call it, Muslim soda. But don't worry, because Jersey's not much better. I'll tell you that. Jersey's not much better. And actually, the nice people that took this photo for us, they gave Tommy Tomatoes the flag over there. He wasn't walking around. There were a lot of people actually walking around all day with a flag on a pole, which to me is a little bit silly, but it makes for a nice picture. But this fucking nice Asian lady, she fucking goes, I was telling her, they were from like the South, and I was telling her, yeah, I'm from Jersey, unfortunately. And she goes, hey, maybe your state is red, you don't even know. And And it's fucking true, you know? It's like those trannies on Tinder, you know? Maybe they got a cock, you just don't know. Jeez, I'm on a roll tonight, huh? I think there's a Thursday night football game on. It's the Chargers at the Raiders in my home away from home, Las Vegas. So that's what I'm sacrificing for the integrity of my YouTube channel. Doing this for you guys. And no, but I really do think there were some serious things to talk about, like this fucking Momo. Look, who votes? I just want to ask you a question. Put parties aside. Put blue aside, red aside, right, left, right. Put those aside. Who votes for a jerk-off that just looks like this fucking guy? He looks like a fucking Momo, doesn't he? Or is it just me? I don't know, but he's been spending the last 3 to 4 years with the Russia hoax. Well, I'm like David fucking Letterman with the pen over here. He's been spending the last fucking 3 to 4 years with the Russia hoax. Total hoax. Whether you love Trump or hate Trump, if you can't admit that was a fucking hoax, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you, okay? This guy's been banging a fucking Chinese spy. Like the whole time he's been doing the Russia hoax. He's been getting spied on by some hot Chinese broad. I mean, you can't make this shit up, folks. Truth is stranger than fiction. And this guy is so shot out. And he's in the House of Reps, so his term is up every 2 years. And he's from California. They're just going to keep voting this fucking asshole in. I'm sure he won easily. In this election. But you know what they say, all's well that swallows well. Especially when you're getting spied on by a Chinese well. Crickets. Yeah. All right, next topic. Speaking of fucking Democrat assholes. Governor Cuomo does it again. I don't even have notes on this one. I just have Cuomo. no notes. Mario, no notes necessary Cuomo. Talk about a fucking Momo. This guy bans, he signed into legislation today banning the sale of Confederate flags in New York. Because I never knew Confederate flags were in such high demand above the Mason-Dixon line. Especially here in the fucking Northeast. I never knew that. I never knew there was some fucking demand on Confederate flags. And, you know, this guy's a real fucking asshole. And as far as I have to say about the South and the Civil War, look, I was born in Jersey. Okay, my side won, but you know what else that means? It means my side wrote the history. History's written by the victors. So when somebody from down south has a Confederate flag, you don't know what the fuck is in their heart. Can you read their mind? You don't know what the fuck. Maybe to them that means something else. It doesn't have to mean it's about fucking hatred and slavery and you know, hating black people, which is what they want you to think. Maybe it's just they're proud of their heritage. And, you know, Confederate States of America, isn't that the whole point of this 50-state experiment? What's become a 50-state experiment from the 13 colonies? Aren't you supposed to be able to secede? No, apparently not, because look, DC's been corrupt for this long that they won't even let a fucking state secede. If you want out, you're supposed to be able to get out. That's the way it was set up. So, the more you know. And the more I think about it, the more I think I side with the South on the Civil War. Because I guarantee you that war had almost nothing to do with slavery. It had everything to do with economics. And Lincoln had his fucking pockets in the construction of the fucking Transcontinental Railroad or whatever fucking railroad. But he was in bed with them. And hey, just like you can say Trump is in bed with the oil companies, to be fair. But every president's in bed with somebody. Just like President-elect fucking Biden's in bed with China. That's right, folks. China. And we're going to get into that after this next story that just absolutely rocked me. So to speak. This guy just, it's like an old person with Alzheimer's. He just gets worse and worse every year, this fucking guy. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with his affirmative action with casting. All right, so here's the deal. You see this lovely, and I'm sure she's a lovely, lovely lady. I'm sure she's a very nice person right there. And we're going to do a little switcheroo. Okay, and I'm going to talk louder into the mic because for some reason my voice goes quieter. Which one of these things do not look like the other? and now I'm gonna go back to normal voice. But I gave you a look. I'll give you one more look. Which one of these things do not look like the other? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 images. I'll give you a hint. It's the one all the way on the left of the screen. Rock, I asked you politely on my highest rated show of What's Trending to please not make me boycott this movie because the presentation you gave at the DC Fandom was so impressive and so cool for having really not even started yet. And it gave me like a raging chub for, quite frankly, a franchise I really don't even care about. So that's how impressed I was. And I asked you politely to please don't make me boycott this movie. Rock, what are you doing, man? And I'm going to be perfectly honest. I know nothing about this character, Cyclone. But from these pictures, it looks like Poison Ivy meets Wicked Witch of the West or some shit. Maybe there's a little Dorothy in there, too. And, you know, that actually makes sense because they got caught up in the tornado, right? In the beginning of the movie. But, Rock, what are you doing? Are you tokenizing this fucking role? Talk about know your role. Rock, you're casting roles you don't even know. What the fuck, man? It's like this showing off that pic in that tweet that he put out. It's like, yeah, we did it. Fuck you, fucking redhead motherfucker, you ginger motherfuckers. Right? So, the woke Rock, well, I don't know, man. I feel like your best work is behind you, but you're a money printing machine. So whatever you do, I'm sure is going to generate shit tons of money, except for Baywatch, which I thought was actually not that bad. But I just have a suggestion, to quote Selena Kyle. It's more of a suggestion. Instead of hiring somebody that clearly doesn't fit the description of the role, why don't you just make up a new character? Nobody knows about the Justice Society of America anyway, and no one barely even knows about the Justice League, right? Just make up, if you want to cast someone of that ethnicity, make up a character that suits it. Why do you have to do that? You know, Tim Burton was going to cast Marlon Wayans as Robin in the early 90s. But that was before all this woke bullshit. So that leads me to believe that Tim Burton probably was a big In Living Color fan and just liked him for the role or something. And it probably would have been just fine. But this is like deliberate, let's just eliminate, in this case, white female gingers. You know, usually the biggest ones attacked are straight white Christian males. We've talked about this. And I don't even know if Cyclone's straight or not, so let's not even give her that. She's just a white female. I don't know if she's Christian. Dorothy was. So, but Rock, man, not looking good. Not looking good, man. In terms of me wanting to pay my, whatever it's going to be, $19.99 or fucking $19.99. It's probably going to be $19,000 a movie ticket by the time fucking theaters open back up. So that was that. And this is the main event, folks, of episode 11 of What's Trending. I felt like I had to keep all my juice heads out there up to speed on what's going on with the Biden crime family. Just as entertaining as any other crime family, because they're fucking shot. And what's funny is a lot of this information is out in the open, and it just gets ignored. It just gets ignored. This shit will never trend on Twitter, but it'll trend with me, and therefore it'll trend on this show, and it'll trend with you. All right. And I'd like to open up my case, Your Honor, by saying that if you think Joe Biden is going to solve your problems in America, well, that's like shitting in your pants and changing your shirt. I rest my case. So I'm just going to go through some notes here. I promise you it's entertaining. So we'll start out with Hunter Biden. $400,000 tax evasion from a Russian payment, okay? So he evaded $400,000 in taxes from Russia, okay? Who have they been accusing of being in bed with Russia the last fucking 3 to 4 years? Okay, so let's cross that one out. Here's another Hunter revelation for you. And by the way, this is all provable. It's all documented. All right. $14 million money laundering for Mr. Hunter Biden. I would have never been in this position if my father wasn't Joe Biden. $14 million in money laundering. Then we have the Poroshenko bribery and extortion case. Bribery and extortion. This is what the mob families in the town I grew up in fucking do. Jeez, man. And these are elected officials? Really? You gotta be kidding me. Here's my favorite one. If you ever seen The Sopranos, alleged payment, and this is alleged, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Just like I'm allegedly gay. Kidding. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but alleged payments for no-show jobs, like on a construction site. That's like when fucking the New York family and the Soprano families arguing about your cut of the no-show jobs and how many no-show jobs at the construction site, and then there's like show up and do nothing jobs. The politicians are doing the same shit. It's just unbelievable. And you know who's aware of all of this? The U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York. The same fucking asshole that's trying to like arrest Trump first and then look for the crimes later, which is the opposite way of how the justice system is supposed to be handled. You know, I feel like George Bush dodging the shoe. Madonna mia, as my Italian family would say. And then there's more allegations of corruption, including Ukraine government. And this all happened when they were covering the Stormy Daniels stuff. So again, that's a real honest and straight down the middle media we got. And of course, that's the Ukraine thing's corroborated on tape by Joe himself saying, son of a bitch, you know, and he was fired. Right? Remember that whole deal? And then the big score is China. Wait, hold on. Is that even a Chinese thing, or is that fucking... Oh, man, I don't even know. Fuck them all. Fuck China for this whole bad flu situation. I don't even call it a virus. It's just a bad flu. But, and fuck the Democrats for overreacting and fucking up all our lives. So there's stories of more bribery, more extortion, and more conflict of interest in China when the son of a vice president, Hunter Biden, becomes partner with the government. He became a partner in with the government of China when they were doing negotiations. And nobody fucking cared. And Trump did dealings with China in his personal life for his personal business before he ever ran for president, and they're trying to make that into a fucking crime. I guess it's like a Minority Report, you know, it's not even Minority Report. It's like you're trying to make a fucking crime up that's not there. In Minority Report, at least they can predict a fucking crime before it happens, I guess. But Hunter, James, Sarah Biden, and the boss got involved in the China deal from 2017, and our pal Tony Bobulinski was the guy that they got to help him out. And never forget, 10% held by Hunter for the big guy after Hunter got his cut of 20%, right? 20% of how much money? And I gotta break my balls and barely have dick. Unbelievable. And again, I just want to point this out of Democrats and Republicans alike and any establishment fucking politician. Why are these motherfuckers living like kings and queens off six-figure salaries? Why? How does that fucking work? You can't make $400,000 in New Jersey. You get taxed so much out the ass, and between that and the cost of living, you make $400,000 in New Jersey, and that's like upper middle class. By the time you get taxed by the Uncle Sam and by the state, and you pay your property taxes and whatever fucking else, you're done. And you pay into your fucking 401k or whatever kind of savings you have. Property tax. I don't know if I said mortgage or property tax, but combine those things. We have like the most expensive property tax rates in the country too, by the way. So just think about that. If you just have like a modest, regular, like 3 to 4 bedroom house, on like, I'll call it a regular sized piece of property, maybe a 2-car garage, you're looking at like between $10,000 and $15,000 for property tax. And these people who are supposed to be public servants are somehow making hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars. They shouldn't be making anything over 6 figures. Where are they getting this money from? And how come nobody audits them? And how come nobody accuses them of fucking crimes? And I'm not talking about just Democrats. I'm talking about fucking everybody. And I'll tell you, man, I'm going to put that picture back up when we were in D.C. This felt like an invasion. This felt like we were behind enemy lines. And you know what? We were. And a lot needs to change. It's probably not going to change in our lifetime, but if we get more outsiders in there, who knows? But it's going to take a long time, but it's on. But I'd like to bring things to your guys' attention that maybe you don't know and maybe you do know, and I hope to do it in a fun and entertaining way. So thank you for joining me, Juice Giorgio, again on What's Trending. Unprecedented back-to-back episodes, and we'll see you next time on the Juice Giorgio Network. Take care, stay safe, and stay sexy.